We'd like to start by acknowledging that the land on which our church is built is the territory of the Pawtucket and the Massachusetts peoples who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We thank them for their strength and resilience in protecting this land, and we aspire to uphold our responsibilities according to their example. So all of Billerica, who is built on that territory. My name is Brita. I'll be the worship assistant for today's service. And our worship leader this morning is Reverend Nannene Gowdy. She was our minister for a number of years. She is just wonderful. She's just a wonderful preacher, and we're just so happy to have her with us here this morning. Are there any announcements? Sarah.
Hi, just briefly, I'm recording. We have collectively decided to record a bigger chunk and leave out the joys and concerns to make it easier for Teresa to do the editing. So if you can help with that by muting when you don't have a speaking role, that would be really helpful. If you're on the phone and you want to mute or unmute, it's *6. If you're on the phone and you want to come in for joys and concerns and put your hand up so you can be seen, it's *9 to put your hand up. If you are making sound and I need to mute you, I hope you don't mind. Don't take it personally.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Technology. I actually have an announcement. Next Sunday, everybody is invited to, we're going to have as part of the Woody's service, the ceremony to confer onto him the Minister Emeritus status. And as we also gave to Nannene, Woody, of course, is wonderful, Reverend Widrick, and please come for that. And that's October 24th, next Sunday. Any other announcements? Our president, does she have some announcements?
Well, I can tell you that the COVID-19 committee is still, our task force is looking at the numbers. Billerica's numbers are getting much better, as is Middlesex County. I think we're actually a little better than the rest of Middlesex County at this point. Wow. So we will be reevaluating reopening soon for services with guidelines. Again, I'm just really happy that our numbers are starting to improve.
Wonderful. Okay, good news. Good news. Oh, good friend. Okay. Any other announcements? I don't see Lisa Jameson. Okay, in that case, we will light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift.
Our opening words this morning are by Maya Angelou. The poem is called Late October. Carefully, the leaves of autumn sprinkle down the tinny sounds of little dying things. The skies sated of ruddy sunsets, of roseate dawns, roll carelessly in cobweb grays and turn to black for comfort. Only lovers see the fall as the signal to endings. A gruffish gesture alerting those who will not be alarmed. That we begin to stop in order to simply begin again. Let's join together in singing our opening hymn, Come Thou Font of Every Blessing.
Please mute everybody.
Let's join together in the affirmation of faith, which is on your screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace. To seek knowledge and freedom. To serve humanity and fellowship. To the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other
and with God.
When I was in high school, my homework one night was to read the poem Circles by Edward Markham. I was so impressed by it, it became the first poem I ever memorized. Little did I know at the time that Markham was the poet laureate of the Universalists in the early 1900s. He drew a circle and shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle and took him in.
Thank you, Nannene. I didn't know if the poem went on. I just want to, we do have to remember to mention that our Unitarian Universalist churches are self-supporting, and your gifts is what sustains the life of the church. You can make an offering by mailing in a check or go to our website and click on the donate button, and anything that you can afford will be deeply appreciated. Let's sing the doxology. We can do it. Here we go. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of love and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung. Through every land, by every tongue. Amen. Thank you.
You.
Okay.
Our association, the Unitarian Universalist Association, is a merger in 1961 of two previous religious groups, the Universalists and the Unitarians. The basis of both groups started from a position of love. The quote in our order of service from Thomas Starr King reads, "Universalists believe God is too good to damn people. Unitarians believe they are too good to be damned." It was said in jest, but the kernel of truth in it is that they both believed that God truly loved people. The founding principle for the Unitarians was that the love of God was one, not three, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and that they were one and couldn't be divided. The founding principles of the Universalists was that God so loved the world that no one would ever be damned by God to eternal punishment. Today in the UUA, our favorite slogan is that we are on the side of love. Now, I was going to wear my t-shirt today, but when you're in a sling, it is button-down shirts only. So I will show you what I would have worn were I able. And when you see demonstrations around the country, you will see a lot of people wearing those shirts. It's so easy to identify them. It's kind of fun to pick them out in the crowd. Down through the centuries, the strongest thread in our belief has been that of love. I think this is what has made us different from other belief systems and what has sustained us over the years. We haven't preached a message of punishment or of exclusion or of fear, but one of love. What started as a message of God's love for us has changed over the years to include our love for one another. This love has motivated us to be a group that is and has been very involved in social action. Unitarians and Universalists have been at the forefront of movements like enacting child labor laws, abolition, sanitation, and getting civil rights for the handicapped, LGBTQ people, immigrants, women, and people of color. We were among the earliest abolitionists trying to end slavery and followed our beliefs by being active in the Civil War to free enslaved people. Here in Massachusetts, we formed one of the few all-Black regiments, the Mass 54th, which was renowned for its bravery, led by Boston's own Robert Gould Shaw, who was a Unitarian. There has even been a movie made about them, Glory, and there is a monument across from the State House honoring them. It was a Unitarian in New York City who started sanitation departments in New York, thereby improving the health of all of its citizens. Before he took action, disease killed many people, especially the poor. Other cities, seeing the improved conditions, started their own sanitation departments, and the health of the country actually got better. I was present the day that the UUA clergy gathered at our headquarters and went next door to the State House to lobby for the rights of same-sex couples to marry. Trek was there with me that day. We were successful. A law was passed, and the first 2 women to legally marry in Massachusetts were both UUs in a ceremony performed by their UU minister. I first learned about the UUA in the 1960s when I met several UU ministers in the picket line in front of the Boston School Committee. We were protesting segregation in the Boston school system. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, while I was on the UUA board, I was also very active in institutionalizing an anti-racism initiative in UU congregations. Other religious denominations contacted us to find out how they could begin the process in their denominations. This was decades before the country woke up to the racism crisis in the United States due to the very public instances of abuses of Blacks, starting with the death of Eric Gardner. These are just a few of the examples of social action that we UUs have done over the many years. Today, the UUA immigration policies of the United States. Our advocacy for the disadvantaged continues. The early Christians distinguished themselves by being the people who obviously loved one another and took care of one another. I think we UUs have inherited that distinction. We don't pass judgment on whether or not a person is worthy of love. It is part of our principles that we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Our differences don't matter. If I am female and you are male, it doesn't matter. If I am white and you are black, it does not matter. If I am straight and you are gay, it does not matter. If I am old and you are young, it does not matter. What matters is that each of us should love and care for the other. We are called to love and to care for our neighbors, just as we should be loved and cared for by them. So Edward Markham had it right 100 years ago. Let us draw circles of love, and our symbol is enclosed in a double circle. So let us draw circles of love that take in the heretics, the rebels, the discarded, and the ignored of society. This is the way we will show the world that we do have the wit to win with our circles of love. Let's join together in singing our closing hymn, Love Will Guide Us.
Yay! I like that song. Please say with me the extinguishing the chalice words on the screen as Nannene puts out the chalice. Here we go. We extinguish
this flame,
but
but
not
the light of truth,
the
warmth of community,
or the
or the
fire
fire of commitment.
These
we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And again.
Benediction.
Go out into the highways and byways. Give the people something of your new vision. You may possess a small light, but uncover it. Let it shine. Use it in order to bring more light and understanding to the hearts and minds of men and women. Give them not hell, but hope and courage. Preach the kindness and everlasting love of God.